Are you smoking? What you smoking?
A pre-roll that, my,
I ain't gonna lie, all that slow, retarded shit, like, I hate when a bitch smoke weed and start acting retarded, bro. Stop doing that shit. You could talk regular, bro. All that slow ass shit, I don't got time for that. Bitch, my time is money. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you, yo, how old are you?
18
Act
now.
like it. That's what I need you to do. Act like it. You get what I'm saying? You getting older now. You still in your mom crib or nah?
No.
So you live by yourself? So that means you have a job. Okay, where you work at? You just
Little
started
Caesar.
lying. No. We're gonna pause you. It
No,
took you too long to
Little
respond.
Caesar.
You work at Little Caesar's Pizza. Little Caesar's is taking care of your rent? So you just getting by type shit. You ain't living life. You just getting by.
Oh!
Nah, you is just getting by. Cause Little Caesars ain't covering that rent and paying for your food and your marijuana habit. You not talking to no dummy, bitch. You're not talking to no dummy, man.
Actually, it is though.
No, it's not. Listen, this is what we gonna do. Where you from?
Ohio.
Ohio. Okay, you ever been fucked before?
Yeah.
Okay, good. How many times?
Like 4.
Okay, let's times that by 3. So you got fucked 12 times. So look, this is what we gonna do. We're gonna fly you out. Yo, shh. Yo, shh. I'm talking right now. I'm in the man. Shut your mouth. I'm gonna lead you. You just follow. Now look, we're gonna fly you out. I got 6 black niggas that want pussy. I got $12,000 for you. They gonna pay me 20K. I'm gonna keep 8 for me. You get what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let you hold 12. I'm gonna get your life together. We're gonna sell this pussy. Cause at the end of the day, you ain't working at Little Caesars and then taking people orders and shit ain't gonna get you nowhere you wanna be in life. Are you smoking? What you smoking?
Behold, your wife, your woman. Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai Ba'ashim Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. It was in the gospel, brother, lifting up the standing of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. I'm the Aki Mahaloya coming back with another lesson through the spirit. And man, bro, I was listening to some videos this morning from a couple of brothers, and you know what? The spirit bear witness that we are the men of the Most High, man, because we all had the same thought process when it comes to dealing with these wicked ass women in America and how to categorize them, man. Because see, you got the term called happy wife, happy life, but happy wife means miserable man. All right, because a lot of niggas that's married in the world, like I got a grandfather, he's been married to his wife for the last shit. How old is Pa? He's like in the 70s now. He's been married to her for like the last 40, 50 years. And times, were easier back then because he got like 4 children by, or maybe 4, one in the possible, that we think is from another man. But even then, hey, that nigga was miserable, man. But, he had the whole church spirit, the whole family man spirit going on, and he had to put up a facade to act like he was happy. But low key, bro, he was miserable with that fucking woman, bro. Because coming up in a time of the feminist movement and these feminist ideologies, they've given power over into the woman to lord over the man. And damn, look at the results of it. You got an 18-year-old woman on there, dumb as fuck. These bitches are fucking druggies, man. And she's talking to this wicked nigga, and he's basically telling her like what it is. He's like, look, man, I'm finna put you out there and you finna make some money. Even though pimping a woman, that shit is wicked as all hell. And that's demonic as fuck. But when you think about it, like, look at the lifestyle that these hoes live, bro. Okay, these bitches are out here like that. And you mean to tell me that we supposed to marry these type women? The pickings are real slim for men. This is why we tell you brothers, man, you got to put things into perspective when you moving around in this world, bro. Because women like this is what you have to choose from. Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, all social media. Any bitch that got a social media, period, I'm looking at her funny as all hell. Because I know how hoes get down on social media, man. I've been on social media for the last 15 years or so, here and there. And I just sit back and I spectate as to what goes on here. And I peep every goddamn thing, man. And back in my mind, I'm like, these niggas are fucking stupid. Because how you put all into a bitch that's literally on social media getting bagged by 15, 20 niggas on there, man. Got her 3 baby daddies on there. She got a possible nigga on there. She got you on there. The 2 other niggas she's having sex with. the nigga she's finna have sex with. All right, she got the fucking the fifth grade Sunday school teacher on there, and everybody got hold and access to your so-called woman. But this is a fucking woman we supposed to be chasing after of. She's 18 years old, high of her fucking mind. Bitches doing perks, popping pills, lean, molly, weed, all types of shit, man. And you hear the way he's talking to her. He said, well, shit, she's a hoe any fucking way, so why not go further with it? You know, which you can understand his logic, even though it's wicked. But even at the end of the day, man, your woman is a fucking prostitute, man. And this is why we tell you brothers out there, don't be giving your strength to these wicked ass bitches, man. Okay, the women are a fucking dime a dozen. You got men going overseas because of this very reason here to find women and get pleasure from them. Because when you over here, like this is the thing, you marry a woman, you marry on paper. Now all of a sudden now you's attached to this bitch your entire life. You have kids by her, you divorce her, she breaks up with you. She files for alimony and child support. She takes your kids, you paying 80% of money, and she takes your home, your possessions, and now what? You're literally on the edge of the fucking road with a white paper cup asking for money now, man. Because you let her destroy your life. And this is why you have to be very, very wise on how you deal with these brides, bro. You know, and me personally, I love the shit out of women, man. You know, I love women. You know, I like dealing with women. But every woman I had, most of the women I've ever came across, none of them bitches wasn't shit. And I'm gonna be the first to tell you, man. And I've had some so-called decent women in my life, but even the so-called decent ones ain't shit, man. All right? So anyway, let's listen to it again. Then we'll get a couple of precepts because I don't want this to be a long lesson. But you brothers, man, you got to move wise, man. Don't be running out your wits for these type of women. Don't be marrying these type of women, man, because you're going to put yourself in a world of hurt. And, you know, and we get cursed out because we're bringing you the raw, uncut, unfiltered truth about what the deal. You get put in a jam because you're dealing with this. All of a sudden, you end up getting put in the spirit world because you got backdoor about wicked ass woman. Okay, that backdooring culture shit is very real. Look at what's happening with this nigga Moneybag Yo. And what's his other clown name? I put it in the thumbnail of the video yesterday. It was Moneybag Yo, and it was two other niggas. And basically, they all trying to bag the same bitch. Here you are, multi-millionaire, and you still dealing with low-level trash, man. Which proves that you niggas are on a low level. Out of all the money in the world that I may have, I had $100 million. Man, you think I'm finna marry a woman in America? You out your goddamn mind. You know, like all the women I deal with, I tell them straightforward. I say, look, I ain't looking for no marriage from you. I already know what type of person you is. We gonna kick it. This is what it's gonna be until shit goes sour, and then you, hey, do what you want to do because I understand the dynamic of this shit. I get it. You know, and the fact about it is because I follow Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, the Lord gonna get rid of the bitch any fucking way. Short testimony, man. It was a woman I was dealing with 7.5 years, and I ain't gonna lie, I love this bitch. Like that was like that was my chick. Like I really love this bitch. But over years after I was dealing with her, and I seen how she started to move, the Lord like, man, that ain't for you, bro. He said, I got something else. I got something better than that for you, bro. I'm like, what you mean you got something better? He said, don't even worry about it. Feelings was hurt, all types of shit. I was mad as fuck for a minute, man. But over a course of time, the Lord started showing me, he said, this is why you can't deal with this, bro. Look at the betrayal. Look at how she's moving. She's moving this way. And you in her ear telling her one thing, and she knows the truth. And then she got a million other bitches and niggas that she used to love and be in love with are telling her one thing. So you think you're going to win this war? He said, go ahead and try to win that war without me. You're going to destroy yourself. Lord, just like, look, just let me take her, replace her. She ain't right. She marked herself. And I had to come to realization, like, I'm like, yeah, the Lord had this bitch in my life because he marked her. Not because I was wicked, but because he marked her because she was wicked. You know? See, we ain't the type of men that try to hold on to a fucking woman because we love them to death. Nah, or try to make this motherfucker act right. You got one time and one time only to get it right in my life. If you ain't getting it right in my life, hey, you getting the fuck up out of here. Okay, I don't give a fuck how much love and care and all this shit I got for you. Look, I'll turn that shit off and act like I never knew you, man. And that's the spirit you got to be in because they'll do the same shit to you, man. All right. So anyway, let me get a precept real quick. It's the book of Amos 7, and I'm going to start at verses 17. And it says, thus says the Lord, Yahweh, thy wife should be a harlot in the city. What is a harlot? Okay, let's look up the word harlot. You know, in case some of you newer Jakes, you don't understand what that mean. All right, you go into the word harlot, it goes into the Hebrew word zanah, which means to be a harlot, commit fornication, adultery, occult, prostitute, unfaithful to the Most High. And name one of these women that's faithful to the Lord. Okay, the bitch you putting a ring on, she's on you're her 50th body. You think she's gonna have some type of pair bonding mechanism with you? Because after a while, them demons are gonna start to take over. She's gonna start to rebel against you, and then you sitting up here trying to put this hoe in order, trying to get her to see your way. That ain't how that work, bro. You're dealing with used goods, bro. Okay, you're dealing with harlots here. These women are out their goddamn minds, man. This is why the scriptures say, give her roughly paraphrasing it. Don't let her put hands on thy possession. I gotta find that. I don't want to butcher it, but it tells us like don't give her access to your substance. Roughly paraphrasing it, because you got men, they tricking off on these women, bro. You know, this whole money bag, yo, nigga, you spending 130K on a hoe that's fucking everybody else, man, including your homeboy, and you spending money on this wicked bitch just to get backdoor down the line. And then you and this nigga end up getting into a shootout. You end up getting sent to the spirit world. He goes to jail. Now she's doing the same thing to the next poor soul. This is why Jake be like, no, my woman, okay. Yeah, okay. Can't be that naive. But no, my woman, okay. This is what you think. All these women are off, bro. This is why, hey, the scriptures say those that have no wives seek not a wife, man. Wait till Isaiah 4:1. Wait till the Most High bring the actual women in that's gonna get with your program, man. You're trying to force these people to be part of your program, because it's like trying to, bro. That's like trying to. I can't even give the analogy of it, man. That's just like trying to put a size 13 foot in a size 9 shoe. It's just not gonna fit. You know, she may get in line to some degree, but even then, she's only going to do it because she's involved with you until she starts to despise it. Then she's just going to rebel. And then you're going to be sitting up here looking stupid. Well, I thought you believed. Nah, she never believed, bro. She was mirroring your fucking ass, man. And you wasn't smart enough to see that. You know, this is why we tell brothers, man, look, if you got a woman that's good by you, then, hey, so be it. Deal with her. You know what I'm saying? Deal with her. We're not telling brothers to put away their wives and to treat their wives like shit if you got wives. But if you ain't got a female and you running into these dead ends, bro, then that's exactly what it is, bro. To focus on the ministry. Focus on the work of the Heavenly Father. Okay, you are in hell right now, bro. And it says here, and thy sons and thy daughters shall fall by the sword, and thy land should be divided by line, and thou shalt die in a polluted land, and all Israel shall surely go forth into captivity of his land. It says your woman should be a hoe in the city. Okay? I may have met 2 virgins in life. And guess what? You think I was the last man they ever dealt with? No. Like my man Mighty Murph said, he said, look, one thing I know, he said, you ain't gonna be the first nigga she dealt with, and you ain't gonna be the last nigga she dealt with. So make that make sense. So your woman that you crying over because she decided to leave your ass for a 3rd grade crush, or for the nigga that drive the motherfucking the Hemi, or he drive the motherfucking Scat or the Hellcat with the Hemi in it, and she left your ass for this nigga. Hey, just know that this is what it is, man. You ain't the first, and you damn sure ain't gonna be the last. Remember, it's you up against a million demons, bro. She's been popped by other men before you. Make that make sense. I don't know why Jake do it to themselves, man. Let's go from here to the book of where we at, Proverbs 7. The wiles of a harlot. Even though this is going into doctrine, but at the same time, we relay it to women. Because like I said, man, these women will get you caught up out here. You rap all into them, you pour into them, and before you know it, they doing other shit. It was a little chick I was dealing with. She's like a little, you know, like a little concubine chick. You know, she did whatever the fuck I say do. But even then, it's just like, I got boundaries, I got limits. And just one thing about it, you just not finna just be up under me all day. That's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So I started noticing little shit, and then I broke it off. I'm like, nah, I can't fuck with you. You know, we ain't going down like that. You know, the next day this bitch was on Snapchat. She shut our Snapchats and socials down for like the last couple of months. But all of a sudden, when we break shit off, you know what I'm saying? Which I already knew what it was anyway. So I'm just like, yeah, I already know what you is. You know, I know what you are. I wasn't oblivious. I wasn't stupid. I laid down the law, and this is what you gonna follow. And you know, she did what she did. You know, little chick bring me food to work. She bring me food and shit when she get off work, whatever. rub my back. I'm like, look, cook, whatever. She make my bed, whatever. Whatever I wanted her to do, she would do. And that's one thing about it. Most women I deal with, they do whatever the fuck I tell them to do. You know what I'm saying? Until they start being stupid, then we got to cut shit off. I say the most rebellious one I ever dealt with was that fucking wicked ass baby mama. But I was young. I was real young when I was in my early 20s when I met her, and we ain't been dealing for over 15 years. So, I mean, that's that situation. But even then, you have a baby by a wicked ass hoe, and you try to put that bitch in order. It ain't gonna work, man. So, nah, but anyway, long story short, because she was a younger chick, she was significantly younger than me. She was in her 20s and shit. I'm in my 30s. And they go, I can hear nigga now say, see, you guys like dealing, man, shut your bitch ass up, man. Bitch was legal. She was consensual, motherfucker. Nigga, you got older men dealing with, you got niggas in their 50s dealing with bitches in their fucking 20s. So get the fuck over it. It ain't like the bitch was 12 years old. But anyway, young chick, which that's not an excuse, man. You a woman, act your fucking age. But anyway, long story short, we stopped dealing. And now she gets back on social media and open all her social medias up. And I was like, I already knew you was going to do that shit. Was I upset about it? I wasn't really tripping, But back in my mind, I'm like, damn, this is the reason why the apostles say it's better to just be single. Just deal with, or if you got a woman, just deal with one woman. Or be single, because that's the best way. You got more peace. But the spirit like, man, what you look and feel some type of way for, bro? You already know this is the type of female it is. That's why the scriptures say don't give thyself over to a light woman. Because you got Jake that will bug out over that shit. And I was like, yeah, it is what it is. It's a little concubine, Bam, the Lord marked the ass. It's a done deal. But anyway, this is the book of Proverbs 7. And I'm going to start at verses. And you have men that say, yo, lose women because y'all wicked. Nah, we don't lose women because we wicked. It's actually the Lord is sparing us from these wicked bitches. See, there's a difference between a Jake that's trying to make shit work out with a wicked woman and get taken by her attempts versus the Lord removing a wicked woman out of your life. And if you still got the truth after he removed that wicked bitch, then hey, guess what? The Lord was with you, not her. See, Jake be too caught up in the tenets of the world, man. And this is why they don't see things from spiritual perspectives, man. It's a worldly thing because Jake don't have the spirit of Yahushua in them. This is why they look at the way they look. Like this clown, for example, this video I'm just showing you now. This dude, he basically finna put the hole on a stroll and basically pass it out to the homies, which is wicked. But even then, in his mindset, he's like, what am I doing wrong? She's a hoe. She's 18 years old, no fathers in her life. Where's the mother at? Probably, who knows where, probably getting gangbanged. Because nowadays you have the mother-daughter friendship thing. The daughter is 18 years old, but the mother is fucking like 36 or some shit. Young, going to the club, doing all this other crazy stuff, And she's not telling her what to do, so she gets on, and this is why we say social media is wicked. Because she's on social media and she's talking to this dude, and I guarantee you she got a inbox full of different men hitting her up and telling her all types of shit, and she's sleeping with multiple men. And then the sucker that wants to get with her, that really likes her, she ain't giving this clown no time of day, man. So this is why we try to tell you, brothers, look, man, know where you at and put things into perspective when you're dealing with shit. We know what the scriptures say, but at the same time, the scriptures tells us to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. You got to be wise when you're doing things, man. Okay, you can't marry these fucking hoes because you will add more affliction to you. Why would you do that? Why would you fuck yourself over like that? Like, prime example, man, you got celebrities out there that will get divorced by their wives, and then she'll take this nigga to child support court and get $250,000 a month. And then you got some other goofy that will come behind this stupid nigga, and then he marries this bitch, and then she takes him to the cleaners, and now he's sitting there looking dumb. But you celebrity niggas, man, you supposed to go overseas and get. If I was a celebrity and I had multi-million dollars, if I was a multi-millionaire, I will never get no goddamn wife in America, bro. Especially that the way that the system is set up against men, especially Jake men that got money. You a Jake man with money and you trying to do something with your life. Oh, they coming for you, man. They gonna send all types of supermodel bitches at you. They will send somebody at you just to get you caught up out there. Look, we gonna send you at them. Hey, we gonna do what you do. Slip this and this, whatever. How the nigga put a baby in you. stay with him for 5 years, and then divorce this nigga so we can get the money back and we'll give you a percentage of it. Bro, you gotta expect that. You gotta expect that, man. So if I was a celebrity, rich Jake like that, first thing I would do, I would build a house in the Philippines. I would go to Thailand. I would travel abroad. And I get different women from these different countries, and I would deal with them. You know what I'm saying? I have a house in the States too. And if I don't feel like traveling abroad, I'll bring them out here for about a month or so. Make sure they looked out they won't have any access. If they going outside, they going outside with me. But bitch, we in the crib, we chilling, and you serving me. That's what we doing. I'm not allowing you to have any friends. You're not finna have any type of social media. Okay, you're not finna sit up here and go to the club with your homegirls. None of all that shit is off limits. Ain't no girls' night. That's off limits. That's off limits, man. So get you a woman from overseas, man. And don't tell the bitch you a fucking basketball player, even if they may know. Because they not really hip to what happens. Like, them third world countries, they not really too hip, up on the news like that, like out here. And when you go to places like Germany and the Ukraine or the UK, they got a little bit more insight. Hong Kong, these more populated countries that's more modernized, they know. But even then, man, conceal your identity, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Just tell her, like, look, like, I'm a real estate agent. Like, look, I got my own business. This is what I do. Live a low-profile life and keep it pushing. And I guarantee you will never see a child support payment come out your damn check or alimony payment. While you looking and crying over this bitch. Well, she took my money, man. I love her. Yeah, stupid. You learned the hard way, didn't you? Know what the hell you dealing with. Anyway, this is the book of Proverbs 7. And I'm going to start at verses. Let's start at verses 9. Let's start at 17. It says, I've perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come and let us take our fill of love into the morning and let's solace ourselves with loves, man. That's that enticing speech, even though this is doctrine, because doctrine is referred to as wisdom, a woman. But also, they're using the analogy, and this is why the scriptures are so beautiful, because they use the analogy of actual accounts, man. Men go through this. Men go through this. Women's pillow talking you. She's sweet talking you. She does the thing. She has the proper etiquette that you like. You'll get taken by her attempts if you're not careful. But it reads, he taketh a bag of money with him and will come home at the day appointed. She's talking about her husband. But with much fair speech, she caused him to yield. With the flattering of her lips, she forced him. And he goeth after her straightway, as an ox goeth to the slaughter, or as a fool to the correction of stocks. Till the dart strike through his liver, and as a bird hasteth to snare, and knoweth not that it is for his life, man. Because the scriptures say that the adulterers will hunt for precious souls, man. So these celebrity jakes, they get caught up in that scandal because they don't have the wisdom to know. And their fathers wasn't there, and damn sure their mothers ain't telling them what to look out for, because their mother want them to date a woman like her. And what I notice about these son, mother, husband relationships, the woman wants to mold the son into the simp that she always wanted to be with. So she would literally teach him how to deal with a wicked woman, wickeder than herself. Or never hit a woman, never call a woman out her name. Make sure you hold the door open. Make sure you're always respectful. No matter if she steals from you, no matter if she commits adultery, no matter if she even seeks your life, you better not raise your hand at her. And make sure if she has other kids, make sure you show yourself respectable and take care of them other kids. That's the advice your wicked mama gonna give you. Okay, she ain't gonna tell you to stay away from that and to be wise and to not deal with the fucking American woman. Okay, now I'm not saying that you don't have any decent women here, because you do. You have decent women here. I had the luxury of meeting a decent woman. I've been dealing with her for a couple of years now, and she ain't really gave me any problems. And I thank Yahweh Shimi Hawashai for it, because, what more can a man ask for? She cook, she clean, she gives me sex when I need it, when I want it. You know what I'm saying? She just like, look, I just want a little bit of your time here and there. But I was like, look, babe, I got a ministry to attend to. I'll get to you when I get to you. And she understands it. Even when she wants to get an attitude about it, she knows to keep her fucking place, or she's out the door. Be all right? Because we in time now. We ain't got time for all that shit. And her serving me, hey, the Lord will have mercy on her. So there are decent women out here. But even then, I'm not going to put nothing past this woman and say, oh, I know she going to be right. I don't fucking know that. The Lord could put a demon on his bride today, and she becomes a whole nother woman. So I ain't going to be stupid and naive and say, oh, well, not my woman. Okay. Yeah. Some women are good actors, man. And you Jakes, man, you got to smarten up and know that. Now, we're not telling you, you got a woman start looking at her sideways. If she's been solidified and solid to you, then, hey, trust that instinct. Because at the end of the day, you got to vet your own situation. Because we ain't here to tell anybody what they need to do in a situation. We just telling brothers the best course of action and the best advice possible. Even if you don't take our advice, so be it. You don't have to, but we just telling you, brothers, man, to not get yourselves in any mischief or any other wickedness out here. Just be careful. As we're showing you the beginning of the video, this baby, she's 18 years old. Could have been a wife. You know how many men she's had? You heard the nigga say? He said, how many dudes you been with? I think she mentioned like 4 or something, which that's a lie. He said times that by 3 or some shit, which is 12. And then he said something about his other homeboys. And right then and there, that go to spoils. And she cool with it. And most women like wicked niggas anyway. The way he was talking to her, he said, I'm the man, shut up. You know, bitches that smoke. Honestly speaking, hey, the women like that shit. They don't respect nothing other than that because they wicked. You know? Now, I believe, giving respect where respect is due. But in some cases, you got to talk to a woman dirty, man. Sometimes you got to talk bad to a bitch. Sometimes you do. Trust me. I would be lying if I told you I've never talked bad to a female. I've talked bad to every woman I've been with because they put me in a position to do so. And I'll be straight up. I've called women bitches. I've called women hoes because you know what? It was the truth. It was the truth. At the end of the day, you like, well, you were just hurt. I don't give a fuck if I was mad at the time. The fact about it is, bitch, you was a hoe and you ain't right. It's the truth is the truth. And any one of you brothers out there that say you don't talk bad to your woman, you's a motherfucking lie. I dare anybody come on the comment board and say, I don't talk like that to my woman. Okay, well, good for you, man. And then they'll say, well, GMS, you niggas are crazy. Nah, but we just telling you the real deal. This is what we're dealing with. Okay, a female, as in the one that we saw in the beginning of the video, that's a female, bro. That's not a wife. So why would I get involved in that, man? Why would I even subject my energy and time and effort into a female like that? And let's just say if I meet her at a club, right? Because the scriptures say, you could deal with harlots. You deal with harlots. And you got men that scoff at that. You can't deal with harlot, but here, every woman we popped is a harlot. Just because she said, well, I'm wifey material, she's telling your stupid ass that. You believe that shit? So I'm not supposed to get my relief because she don't want to be a wife now. Like that don't make any sense, bro. You got to put things into perspective. And for one thing, I wouldn't be dealing with a woman like this anyway. It's just not gonna mesh, I've had encounters with females that I've met and they come home and we did, and then I ain't hear from them the next day. And I didn't text them, they didn't text me because we had an understanding. One chick, she straight up told me, I met her at a spot. She came to the crib. We did, had a fun, very, very fucking fun night. It was very, very fun. I'll put it to you that way. And then back in my mind, I looked at her when I woke up. I said, yeah, I'm finna block. I'm like, I ain't doing it. But then, she beat me to the punch. She said, man, you cool. She said, you cool. She said, you just real. She said, but I don't know if we gonna really vibe like that because you just got this real way about you. And I'm like, that's fine, baby. I got what I wanted anyway. And that was the end of it. And bam, that was it. So they not even looking to be wifed up. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, so you saved me the headache. So it is what it is. But anyway, it says, to a dart strike through his liver as a bird hasten to the snare, and knoweth not that this is for his life. Hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children, and attend to the words of my mouth, man. So be wise, man. Okay, the scripture said, be pricked therewith. It says, let not thy heart decline to our ways. Go not astray in her paths. All right, for she hath cast down many wounded. This is why niggas, bro, be in the street. This is why niggas be resorting to drugs. Jake be crashing out. You know how many Jakes are in prison or in a graveyard because they crashed out behind a hoe? A hoe that they thought loved them and played with their fucking heart. and you got to blame the woman that because, see, Jake men, we have not learned prior to coming to this truth how to regulate our emotions properly. So you grew up 9 times out of 10 being around a lot of women. There's always more women in the family than the men. Okay, you may have an uncle and you may be lucky if you have an older brother or a younger brother. Lucky. But you have aunties, 2 aunties, 3 sisters. You got a bugged out mama. You got 2 daughters. You got a grandma. That's 6 different feminine spirits that's working up against you, man. And they ain't telling you how to regulate your emotions. You see nothing but confusion. So as a man, that becomes etched in you, and then you start to act like them and don't even realize it, man. Then you don't know what to look for because they don't tell you to not look out for a wicked woman. They tell you that every woman needs to be saved. And that's just not what the Bible says, man. We're reading it, and it says, for she hath cast down many wounded, yea, many strong men have been slain by her. Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death. Okay, so man, the scriptures don't lie, man. The scriptures do not lie. You know, now when we get in our kingdom, it's going to be all right. We're going to be cool. We're going to have wives. We're going to have concubines. We ain't going to have to worry about not seeing our women for money. We got to worry about this nigga Reggie coming through the back porch, you know, trying to pop your woman. We ain't going to have to worry about that. Ain't got to worry about her getting hit on by an Edomite boss, you know, and that she spent 3-4 hours dialing herself up for, but she can't even make you a fucking a tuna sandwich or a turkey sandwich with mayonnaise on that motherfucker and extra pickle and mustard. She can't even take 10 minutes to do that for you, but yeah, she's getting dolled up 5 hours for some fucking nigga to advertise herself to the highest bidder. And one thing too, man, you brothers out there, these women that y'all deal with, they not dolling themselves up for you. You know what I'm saying? They not dolling themselves up for you. Like, I had to put the law on the last little chick I was there. I'm like, you gonna be around me. I'm like, only time you gonna come looking like this is if you coming over here. I said, you ain't wearing no eyelashes and none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Which I don't really give a fuck. I don't care. Because, I mean, I wasn't really wrapped up into it. It was just like, okay, you're going to be getting some of my time. You're going to come around here and you're going to do what I need you to do. Or you're going to leave. And, you know, she respected the order. So I'm like, well, look, you come over here, put this on. Make sure you look this way. I want to, you know, let's do what we do. But I'm like, if you wear that shit outside of me, then you just for the streets anyway. And you might as well not even come back. And she respected it. You just got to be real with him. And I told her straightforward. I said, look, I'm a man. I'm going to deal with other women. I said, this is going, I'm like, that's in my nature. You know, I'm like, if I decide to get some other pussy in here or whatever, excuse my vulgarity, but that's just what's going to happen. I'm like, if you decide to deal with another man, then we're not dealing. And that's just what it is. Hell, the chick I deal with now, she knows I deal with other women from time to time. Not overly, because I don't have that kind of time to just be dealing with women. But if I so happens to, the Lord toss me something and it goes, then that's just what it is. It ain't none of our fucking business. And honestly speaking, I don't care if she know or not. You know, because at the end of the day, y'all all gonna share. The nigga that you married, your high school sweetheart, he got other baby mamas and women that he deal with, and you gonna share that nigga. Then what? You still gonna be mad, so get over it. Ecclesiastes 7, and I'm gonna start at 26, and I says, I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets. Yeah, it's a trap, bro. Going back to this whole money bag yo, that dude's a clown, man. You know, the Fetty Wap, all them niggas, man. Gucci Mane getting robbed by Pooh Shiesty. See, this is the type of wicked shit we gotta be around, bro. This is why we gotta separate ourselves from this. You know, we ain't supposed to be caught up in that type of lifestyle, glorifying these wicked ass niggas. And these women, they glorify that lifestyle. So you gotta separate yourself from that. You know? And be honest with you, Jake, you really don't have wives here, man. You have concubines, you have hoes, man. You have women that play the part. You don't have a wife. Like when brothers like, yeah, my 3 wives. Nigga, you ain't got no fucking wife, bro. You know, now wife just means a woman. And if you want to take her on as that. But I'll be listening to some of the stories the brothers say. I'm like, man, that ain't no wife. That's your hoe, nigga. Like, who you fooling? She got kids by other men. She's out of order. Yeah, she may cook you a macaroni salad and some cornbread and some fucking collard greens. But nigga, that ain't your wife, bro. That's a fucking hoe that's going to go left in a week. Get real, bro. Jake, stop doing that. Jake be trying to make themselves see more than what it is. Like, I'll be real with you. I never had no fucking wife. I mean, the woman I'm dealing with now is the closest thing to a wife that you can possibly get in this kingdom. And I still question that. You know what I'm saying? And the chick I was dealing with for years, man, that hoe wasn't no fucking wife. She was just a woman I was with 7 years because I was fucking stupid. And I thought I loved the bitch. Simple. It happens, man. We men, you know? Shit, you live and you learn. That's the best lesson I can learn, man. And it says, and I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets. But you'll have a man that say, oh, because you wicked, that's what happened. Okay. You let you believe that. But I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands is bands. Whosoever pleaseth the Most High shall escape her, but the sinner should be taken by her. And all these women you escaped. And you still in the truth to tell about it. So clearly, Yahweh was sparing you from death, man. Because let's just say that if I was to try to pursue a female that was not acting accordingly, eventually, as a man, your manly spirit kicks in. You stop dealing with the rebellion and disrespect, and then you start to really put the law down. Then you would be in jail, man. Because you got Jakes that's in jail for that very reason now, because that zeal got the hold of them, and then they couldn't help it, and then they end up hurting the chick. Now they're facing years in prison because of it, because they didn't know when to bag the fuck out. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you, brothers, one thing. Just because you put a baby in a woman doesn't mean she's obligated. Okay, and I'm gonna say it again. Just because you put a baby in a woman, a harlot, a used stove, you put a used engine in a car, doesn't mean it's obligated to run for you forever. Think about that. And it's not because she's not supposed to be obligated, but Esau gives them rights to not be obligated to you. So think about that before you Jakes get too beside yourselves, man. All right, and once again, this is not saying don't deal with women. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying have a realistic mindset and get out of that Alice in Wonderland shit. We in hell. We in Babylon. We in America. These women are destroyed here, bro. So choose wisely. And you sisters that hear this, and y'all know brothers are going through this type of shit, y'all got to get in order. Because a lot of you women in Israel, and we getting on you sisters in Israel too, a lot of you women that's in Israel, a lot of you not right. A lot of you hide behind a hair wrap, and you know, a lot of you hide behind a hair wrap and a shalom mark emoji. But a lot of you out here tricking, jumping from different brother to brother. One brother, you like this brother, but he's not tall enough, so you want to go with this brother because he gets his video shared every day by the apostles. Well, he's mentioned more than this brother. Now all of a sudden you want to be on the popularity movie of the week bullshit. That's wickedness, man. Yeah, you could say, well, we hypergamous. No, you ain't being hypergamous. You just being fucking groupies, which you naturally are groupies. That's just in your nature. But at the same time, every brother in this truth is an important brother to you. How about you, Shai, if he's sincere? You got men out here that sincerely want wives, or man that need help, and you overlook them, man, because they got what, 2 views and 3 likes? Because the apostles are not mentioning them, so they're not important as other brothers. That's some fucking bullshit, man. And I always had a problem with that spirit, which proves that a lot of you are not in this truth, man. And if you don't get right, the Most High is going to destroy every last one of you. And if you don't like the way I'm coming, then unsubscribe to my channel. I don't need none of you fucking women watching me at the end of the day. I don't give a fuck. Well, you too mean. Good. I'm glad to be mean. It's got me out of a lot of shit. It's kept me alive this long. And I'll continue to be mean as long as the Lord is dealing. Hey, this how the men, this how we're coming. Get yourselves right and get yourselves in order and do the right thing, man, or be gone. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hand is bands. Whosoever pleaseth the Most High should escape from her, but the sinner should be taken by her. A lot of you dudes are taken, and you don't even realize you taken by a wicked woman. Okay, just because you would call yourself a Hebrew Israelite, that don't mean you have a biblical, obligation to fulfill to these women. Because when you say a woman is your wife, you have a very strong and harsh obligation to that woman. You got to take care of her. You got to make sure she's fed, make sure the bills are paid. And a lot of women know this. And you put that title on that woman without vetting her properly, or you putting that title on her to keep her under your dominion because you know she's stray, she's liable to stray, you're doing yourself a disservice, man. Because after a while, this whole Hebrew Israelite thing, these women don't really believe that. It's only good when the gimmicks and the money and the business is flowing. But once it's a stoic thing and all that shit stops, we're going to see how the women going to fare with that, man. Especially if they used to one particular lifestyle. Some women want that glorious lifestyle, man. Why you think that dude Hakai is able to keep the women in order? Because look, he has to keep them. He has to continue to push to get the money in, man. That money dried up and her car went left. Well, he's already left. All right, ain't no going. The niggas is far left. But let's just say if all the money he got and his ministry goes down and he loses his congregation, the women will leave that motherfucker overnight. I'm willing to put my best dollar on that, man. Don't let Jake fool you with putting their wives out there like they got the happy, perfect marriage. These men are miserable in these marriages, man. Taking on 3, 4, 5 wives. That's a fucking headache, bro. You only want one wife is enough. You want 3, 4, 5 more? Okay, good luck to that. That's why you got to really be focused on doing the work. The work is the most important thing we can do. All that Brady Bunch shit, man, we'll get that in the kingdom, man. All right, and the Lord will throw you a woman from time to time that you can deal with that's perfect for your situation. Be grateful for that and keep it pushing, man. Because this thing is bigger than having a wife. Jake make this shit all about the outward appearance. Well, we got wives, we got fringes, we got barbecues. Fuck all that shit, bro. That ain't what this thing is about. And it says, and behold, I have found, said the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account. Yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but of a woman among all those I have not found. So Solomon is telling you here that, look, man, they're a dime a dozen. Lord bless you one, then, hey, call Allah Yahweh Shemi have a shot. If not, then, hey, keep it pushing. We gonna get our women. Just be patient. All right, one more precept and I'll end it. I didn't intend for it to go this long. I know when it comes to the women, you know, we can get a little long-winded because, I mean, just the spirit. The spirit is back on you women. And it makes sense because we're in a time now of Jacob's trouble. So this is a warning to you females to get your shit right. And I'm talking to you women that know you're Israelites. These hoes out here outside the truth, fuck them. Let them, they all gonna be destroyed. We ain't concerned with them. With you sisters out there that's supposed to be doing the right thing, you better get right and you better do it now. Stop playing with the Lord. You sisters out there that marry brothers and you comment on other men's comment boards and you saying shit that's outside of your husband's knowledge, you playing a dangerous game, and that's all I'm gonna say. And you know exactly who you are. And if you doing this, then yes, I'm talking about your fucking ass. So you better repent and you better stop it, man. Sirach 26, and I'm going to start at 7. An evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro, and he that have taken hold of her as though he had a scorpion. Miserable, man. A drunken woman and a gala bride cause a great anger, and she would not cover her own shame. Yeah. Club women, they all into the clubs. They want to go out. Oh, they got male friends. Like, I ain't dealing with none of that shit, bro. Like, you deal with me, you're going to have to be upright to some degree. I don't deal with male friends. I don't deal with that. Oh, well, that's just my brother. I don't fuck all that. If you coming to me with that type of energy, then I already know where to put you at. I already know where you fit in my life. And it's not and you ain't gonna fit in it. You gonna be there for a period of time until somebody get tired of your ass. All that male best friend shit, this nigga texting your phone at 11:30 at night. You want me to believe this is your brother? Fuck out of here, man. I don't go for no shit like that. We ain't playing that game. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and her eyelids. It says, if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straightly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. Yeah, feminism. All right, this is why they moving the way they moving. Watch over the impotent eye and marvel not if she trespass against thee. Okay, it says here, she will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he have found to drink and drink of every water near her. That basically telling you that this goes with Amos 7 and 17. This is how they get down. Okay, you got ones in the truth that get down like this. Well, multiple brothers. And if they ain't getting down like that, they thinking about getting down like that. Now what you gonna do? It's a crazy game. Of every water near her and by every hedge where she sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. We know what that means. The quiver represents the box. The arrow represents the rod. So let that be known. Let that tell the tale. But it says the grace of a wife delighted her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones. Now, when you go into the word discretion means, peep this, and none of them really have it. This is why you got to vet them. Okay, you judge based on what they give you, you know. And if you find a woman that's decent and she ain't got this type of quality, then you know you may be on to something. Like, okay, I can kind of work with you here and there, but it's very far in between, man. You know. But it says discretion is the freedom or authority to make decisions based on one's judgment and conscious within general guidelines, balancing rules with specific circumstances for fairness, senior judges, scene fines, police issue warnings instead of tickets, power to act free within legal established boundaries, to discern what is proper and act with caution. Yeah, so you don't necessarily want a wife or chick that got a heavy Instagram or Snapchat following, because you already know what you're getting yourself into. Okay, she has 50,000 followers, you know what I'm saying, 100,000 likes. She got these type of pictures, and she has this type of male attention, and that's probably a female you don't want to get involved with, because you already know you're going to have a problem with that if you're a real man. Okay, instead of her gaslighting you and telling you what you want to hear, you just be like, look, this ain't no bitch I can really get down with, because I already know what it is. Simple. Thirsty for attention. She needs validation. At the end of the day, you one man up against 1,000, a legion. So good luck with winning that battle. But with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to you. How about Shimi Hawashai? Lord is where you were edified. To the next lesson. Shalom.
I pre-roll that, my,
I ain't gonna lie, all that slow, retarded shit, like, I hate when a bitch smoke weed and start acting retarded, bro. Stop doing that shit. You could talk regular, bro. All that slow-ass shit, I don't got time for that. Bitch, my time is money. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you, yo, how old are you?
18.
Act like it. That's what I need you to do. Act like it. You get what I'm saying? You getting older now. You still in your mom crib or nah?
No.
So you live by yourself? So that means you have a job. Okay, where you work at? You just started lying. No. We're gonna pause you. It took you too long to
Little
respond.
Caesar.
You work at Little Caesar's Pizza. Little Caesar's is taking care of your rent? So you just getting by type shit. You ain't living life. You just getting by.
Oh!
Nah, you is just getting by. Cause Little Caesars ain't covering that rent and paying for your food and your marijuana habit. You not talking to no dummy, bitch. You're not talking to no dummy, man.
Actually, it is though.
No, it's not. Listen, this is what we gonna do. Where you from?
Ohio.
Ohio. Okay, you ever been fucked before?
Yeah.
Okay, good. How many times?
Like 4.
Okay, let's times that by 3. So you got fucked 12 times. So look, this is what we gonna do. We're gonna fly you out. Yo, shh. Yo, shh. I'm talking right now. I'm in the man. Shut your mouth. I'm gonna lead you. You just follow. Now look, we're gonna fly you out. I got 6 black niggas that want pussy. I got $12,000 for you. They gonna pay me $20K. I'm gonna keep 8 for me. You get what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let you hold 12. I'm gonna get your life together. We're gonna sell this pussy, cause at the end of the day, you ain't working at Little Caesars and taking people orders and shit ain't gonna get you nowhere you wanna be in life.